Good morning and welcome to Stampin' Stampede. My name is Pauline Bennett and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia, and today I actually wanted to show you how to use the new clay silicone molds from Stampin' Up. They come in a pack of 2. You get buttons and roses in your pack, and when you actually buy the clay, it will come in a resealable bag, and what you're going to do with it is, wearing some disposable gloves, you're just going to take a little bit of the clay and some of the Stampin' Up re-inking ink that you use for your stamp pads, and this one's Wild Wasabi. So all I do is just make like a little well in my clay, and then I just mix it around till all that white has actually gone. Now with the molds, what I have done to get them ready is just spray them with a little bit of olive oil spray, and when I actually spray them, I then wait till the bubbles have gone on the silicone so that you don't get any air bubbles in your clay at all. So then what I'm going to do is you just press the, go this one, whoops, and this is the problem, it will stick to you. Sometimes I do find it a little bit easier. Now I've messed up all the clay. Just get your finger and just push that clay into the mold, and you will need to let it air dry. So once it's all pressed into there like that, what you're then going to do is just set it aside. You can continue on and make different coloured roses. So again, just using any coloured re-inker that you like, pop that into there and leave it aside to actually dry. And these are the ones that I have done in the others. So I've got a couple of roses, pardon me, and a couple of the buttons. The only downside that I have found with the clay is that it is still rubbery, and you'll see on this one it's quite easy to tear. You actually can't pick away at this rubber too much, because what will happen is that will actually just split and just tear apart. So I've come up with another little idea that I thought I would show you today. And once you've got your I'll just pop all of that aside for a second. So again, once you've sprayed your silicone molds with your olive oil spray or any of those sorts of baking things, what you're then going to do is just take a plastic cup, and here what I have done is this is just a plastic medicine cup off the children's Nurofen Panadol, and what you're going to then do, so you need a little plastic cup, you need your 2 silicone molds, and then what I've also got is some clear epoxy resin and some epoxy hardener. I picked this up from a different website, and you can actually get it from the hardware shop or anything like that too, but this is actually for jewelry making. So, and then what you're also going to need is again your re-inker. Now with the epoxy resin, what you want to do with it is make sure the lid's always on, and then just pour it in, and what you want to do is get 5 mils, just let it, just slowly pour it in and let it settle. Now what you want to try to do is actually now add 5 mils of the hardener as well, so all up 10 mils. So pouring the hardener in, alright, so now that I've got my 10 mils in there, I then am going to add a couple of drops of re-inker. That's about 4 drops in there. And then I've just got a paddle pop stick, and just gently, causing no air bubbles, you just want to mix that hardener and the resin together. So just go nice and slowly just to mix all of those colours together. Now at this point, if you want to, you can also add some glitter. So the Stampin' Up Dazzling Diamonds will look really good in this. So just make sure that there's no air bubbles. Just pop any that you can see. And now that it's all mixed, I do find in the hardener and the resin, it actually is a little bit darker. So I'll show you some that I've previously made. And you really don't need a lot of ink in it. So now that that's all mixed, just got a few little air bubbles, just make sure that they're out of the way and all popped. And then all you're going to do now is, once you've got all your molds sprayed, just carefully pour in the resin over the top. Now try not to fill it too much, because you can always go back and add some more. Just get that drop in there. Just wipe the edge of that container. Just pop a little bit more. Whoops! See, it's very runny, so you want to just take your time with it. And I'll just wipe off that excess. Work with it while it's wet, because when it does set, it actually goes very tacky, which is great. Well, I'll show you that, how it actually will stick to your project really well. So that's that one. And then I'm just going to carefully just mix. Just wait till it settles a bit. A bit more. So 10 mils of it is enough to do all 6. And if you happen to have 2 lots of molds, you can keep going and make some more. So pop that there and just clean off that area. Alright, now this is going to actually take 24 hours to cure, so it's not something that is probably ideal for a make and take or a demonstration as such. This is a little bit easier because once it's done, the resin is actually a really low odour, so it's not too overpowering. Some of them that are on the Australian market are quite potent, but this Easy Cast brand is quite easy to do and not too smelly. So I'm actually just going to pop them over to the side and let them dry. And what I'm going to show you is just some that I've made prior, and these are the ones with the I've used real red ink, and you'll see that they're quite dark, and the reason is I did put a lot of ink in them because I wasn't sure how much to use. So this one's probably got about close to maybe 5 or 6 drops of re-inking. So yeah, what you want to do when you actually have dried them is they are still quite tacky, I found, on the back after 24 hours, and that's why I've stuck them on a clip lock bag. I'm not too concerned because now when I go to stick that on a project, it's going to stick pretty well. So there you can see the variations. This one here actually did get stuck in the mold. Probably just didn't have enough of the re-inking to do, so it's probably going to need a little bit longer to dry. It may not even work, but you'll see the others have come out quite well for that. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you a quick tour of how to use the clay and how to use some epoxy to make the buttons a little bit sturdier. So it's Pauline Bennett at paulinebennett.com/stampede. Thanks very much. Bye.